hope y'all are doing well. Got enough rest in between our last Q&A that we did yesterday. Give me half a second to verify sound. All right, sounds fine over here. Hey, hello everybody. AJay the CEO here, and it is another wonderful Friday where we do a Q&A with AJay, where we try to answer as many of your questions as possible. I'd like to tell y'all first off, if y'all didn't already know, I do not know everything. I just try and share with you what I do know to hopefully make your journey in media ministry and the things that you're doing a lot easier with the things that I've done. So hopefully it could save you from repeating some stuff. Why am I seeing a bar over there? Oh no. Excuse me for the for that, man. I'm excited because we are 7 days away from vacation. Boy, I am so excited. So let y'all see the whole command center of what's going on. There's the multi-view. That's y'all on the chat. Here's my screen if I'm going to display anything. Camera, other view down here from vMix so I can actually read it there. But let me bring up my NDI monitor right now just in case y'all have some comments that are a little too hard for me to read. We got vMix over here running everything. And we also got I got my other camera over here so you can see there's the sound and everything running and everything like that. So look. I gave you a sneak peek about how everything here is running. Let's go ahead and holler at all y'all wonderful people. Parker, good morning. Hello. Paul, hello. Norm, hello. A Journey of Random Musing, hello. Francisco, the new daddy. What's going on, man? You awake, man? You got some sleep? Joshua, hello. Antron, man, I do not know what is up with my eyes. I got an eye appointment on Monday because I know this prescription. We got to change up here in a second. It's been a minute since I've had this one. Keith, what's going on? Joe, hello. Sandra, hello. Lamorris, hello. Hey, Lamorris, thank you. Just want to let you know that. Mr. Clarence, hello. Video streams, hello. Streets of Destiny, hello. Deborah, hello. Don, what's up? Shane and Hannah, hello. Robert, what's going on? And Ray L, hey, hello. Oh, and if y'all didn't know, do I have a cheering sound on here? I think I do. Hold on, let me make sure what I got on my, you're not connected, AJay, on this system. I need to do it here. Hey guys, I want to thank y'all so much. Guess what? Yesterday we hit 45,000 subscribers. Yay. Thank you so much, folks. It was all because of y'all. I really appreciate it. And I need to get this closer so I'm not reaching over here to get to my sound effects. But thank y'all so much. I couldn't have done it without y'all because I obviously couldn't subscribe to myself 45,000 times. I'm glad the little bit that I'm doing is helping y'all in some way, shape, or form. One thing I will ask, if you could, go ahead and hit that like button, please. The earlier it's done in the video, this is a tip for y'all for your media ministries as well too. The earlier the like is pressed in your video, that shows user satisfaction to YouTube, and it helps promote your videos to more people. You probably have seen it. You're starting to get some surveys at the end when you watch a video saying how satisfied are you. That's the change that's happening in YouTube. So the earlier that you hit that like, the better that helps out with your channel and the analytics and all that other good stuff. If I don't get to your question, folks, please know that y'all can email me at questions@ajhomes.com. You have until Friday. You have until Friday, because after Friday, man, this dude is, I'm up and out of here. On a much needed vacation. And then from a business standpoint, the people who contacted me for business and everything like that, we're shut down for the rest of the year. Taking a much needed time to plan out for next year and all the big things that we got going on. I got my goals right here. We're going to be we're going to be hitting 100,000 subscribers next year. We're going to be bringing on 5 full-time employees, and we got a bunch of other stuff that we're going to be working on. So excited about that. One other thing, because I'm going to be out, if you are not in the Facebook group, please join that. That's just go to Facebook and look up Modern Media Ministry Made Easy. Answer the 3 questions. Don't you dare put live streams in the group, and that's it. And we're going to have another roundtable. We normally have them every other week, but because of the holiday, we had one last week. We're going to have another one this Sunday. You don't want to miss it, folks. So awesome times there of encouragement and sharing time with other people in media ministries all over the world. So that would be at 7 p.m. Eastern on Sunday. But enough rambling. I think I gave enough time for everybody here. Let's go ahead and get to some questions here. Paul would like to know, does Worship Extreme support Windows 8 and Windows 11? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. I'm running it. I'm running Windows 11 right now, and it works flabtabulously. Let's actually bring it up here. If my typing will work. Go to presenter over here. Let's take this down. As long as they don't have an update going on. Which one should I go to? I don't know. I'll just use this generic one right now. Let me turn my monitor on, which it is. Which one is it going to? Let's go to the right monitor. How about we do that? Oop, I picked the wrong one. All right, here we go. So I'm bringing this up. That's right monitor. So if I do this, there you go. So that's coming from Worship Extreme, and I'm on a Windows 11. So it works great. No need to fear going to Windows 11. And I guess I should mute my sound here. Well, let's just bring it down here. Alrighty. So let's see. Good morning. We got everybody here. Also, Streets of Destiny, thank you for that. I actually saw that update in the group. The Bible plugin that was in OBS that was made by First Fruit Studios is now available on the Mac. The downloadable version, the paid version, the free version was always available. But for those who have a Mac and like the Bible plugin, but you want to add custom and different translations and all this other stuff, it is now available. So thank you so much. Let's see. Mr. Clarence was saying, loves the big band music. Yeah, I was trying to get more into the spirit of things. I love big band. If y'all didn't know, I've been playing trombone since I was in middle school. And so the big band type of stuff, I love it. Especially like some of my favorite movie themes, the Incredible soundtrack. Oh my God, I love those. I love the whole big band approach to that. There's another YouTube channel that I love so much that has some great music. They make renditions of video games, which is awesome. Where's my window? Oh, no, that's a group. That's okay. That's different windows. I wasn't expecting that. But let me show you this one channel that I like. If you like music, what is it? It is, and that's window number 3. That is the 8-bit big band. Again, if y'all into video game stuff, they take video game music and put a full big band to it. Like this one, Snake Eater, the theme from Metal Gear Solid 3, fire. It's the best I could say, as well as the DuckTales Moon theme is another one. And there's another one for Sonic where this lady is just ripping it up on the saxophone. Love big band music, but hey, I'm glad y'all not hating it. What else was that? Where we got? That was page number 2. Number 1. Joshua here wants to know, What is a stream deck, and what do you charge for installation as churches? Also, how far do you travel? Like, would you come to Bryan, Texas? I appreciate you doing these videos. Well, first off, I'll go backwards. Yes, I pretty much will go, wherever I'm needed. Most of the time when I'm charging for that distance, y'all pay for the flight, hotel accommodations, depending on how long it is. And then, while I'm there, I stay there, do the install, do a training, stay there with you for your first Sunday, and then we go from there. So the distance isn't really an issue. I mean, look and see how much a flight is from Richmond to your area. And then, you have some hotels in the area. I'm not talking about a Ritz-Carlton or nothing like that, but somewhere that's decent. And then, hey, we can work from there. The Stream Deck, what the Stream Deck is, I think now that I've cleaned up my desk, I can have more space for this. A Stream Deck is something, and of course I drop it, it's something like this. It is a programmable interface that would just give you buttons so that you can go directly to do certain things. So like I have ones here for like my lights, so I can do that from here. I also have one for Zoom. I have one for my FreshBooks accounting software when I quickly want to get into that. I have one for the ATEM. I have a button programmed for DaVinci Resolve because that's a lot of stuff that I do. And I can't get it in focus because of how I have it. But I also have my Tesla stock price currently, and then I have my YouTube subscribers right there. There's another one I have over here that's controlling all of the vMix stuff right now. But that one, the cable is not long enough for me to lift that one up for you to see. But that's how I have it. So I have quick access. That's what I'm doing when you're seeing me bring up and hide all these comments. That's being controlled by a Stream Deck so that I don't have to reach over here and click anything. It's programmed to do that. So, like, for example, like I hit this button to remind y'all now that we crossed over 45,000 subscribers, we have a giveaway that is at 50,000, which is a PTZ Optics camera that PTZ Optics is going to give away to one lucky person. Just go to grow.ajhomes.com/50K giveaway and register once. And then we're going to be drawing somebody's name live once we cross 50,000 subscribers. And as a runner-up prize, I'm going to be throwing in an ATEM Mini Extreme to one lucky person. So we're giving away two things. And all of that was controlled from the Stream Deck, so I don't have to do all that cool stuff. So hopefully that helps you. Let's see. Also, Joshua wants to know, where can I buy your volunteer hoodie merchandise? Well, you could go to the link that's down below in most of my videos, or let's see. Do I have a hoodie on here? Why, yes, I do. I will tag that in the comments now. And then, but that will take you to my spring link that has a bunch of stuff all over the place. Actually gonna be working on some new merch here. Mainly, all our stuff is, media ministry related. That's my sweater, but that one will link to other stuff as well too. The other hoodies and everything that we have. I don't have a direct link right now, but there you go. Well, that was the AJay the CEO one. That's not one. I clicked the wrong one. My apologies. It is this one. Here's the e-missionary one that I'm going to tag in the chat. That's going to show up as a showcase there. So there you go. Yeah, there it is now. It's showcasing their merchandise. So there, you should be able to see it now. So you go to that one, then it will list all the other stuff as well too. It does me well, not from an arrogant sense, but to go around and I'll go some places, different states, and I'll see somebody wearing something. I'm like, yeah, we got another e-missionary over here. So that's awesome. Let's see. Ray L, thank you so much. All right, we're here. Francisco with his new baby girl, very little sleep. Hey, welcome to the club, man. Jose, thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Let's see. Refuge Temple Church here. Hey, happy Friday. I have a question. How do I get Worship Extreme to recognize my TVs or monitors on the stage? Well, how are they connected? If they're connected just over like a regular HDMI cable to your computer, like you would have dual screens, kind of like how I have mine right now. I have multiple screens. It just picks up because it's connected to my computer, just like if you had two screens. So I got one screen, two screens, three screens. These three are connected to my computer that is over here, and it will just show up. That's the exact same way it will work with Worship Extreme. So, like, for example, did I close Worship Extreme? Yes, I did. Let's open it back up, and we'll take y'all over into this. Let's screen number 3. All right, so if I'm over here in Worship Extreme, so when I come up here to my settings and I go to my screen configuration, see, it's picking up my other two monitors. It's not picking up the one that I'm looking at right now, but it is picking up monitor number 1 and number 2. Number 1 is the one that's right above my head that's on the wall that's acting as my multi-view right now, and number 2 is the one to my left. So if you're not seeing this, your computer isn't seeing it at all. So my question is, how do you have those monitors connected to your system? Need to know that, and then we can dive deeper into try and troubleshoot or try and walk you through how we can get that done. Back to Keith. AJ, working on my templates names now through Worship Extreme and OBS India. Our test run is this afternoon. Thank you again for the help. Hey, you're welcome. Glad you got everything up and running there. A journey of random musing. Is it better to have a laptop or a desktop for live stream? We have a dedicated booth for our media. Well, me personally, if it is a dedicated space and it's not moving, I would go with a desktop, mainly because it's easier to grow and change. I put our streaming system at my church in 2013, and that is the same system we've had since then. We've upgraded the processor, added more memory, added a new hard drive, swapped out. Well, no, the motherboard is still the same. Yeah, we do that, and then that in total has not cost as much as buying a new laptop. A laptop, I have one that I use when I go to different locations, because I obviously can't pack up my entire desktop. But when that one reaches its limit, I put the most amount of memory that it supported. I put another hard drive in it, and I can't do anything else. When that laptop has reached its limit, I need to buy a new one, which is around like another $900 and up compared to, oh, I need to get a new processor. That's $200. Oh, I need to get some more memory. That's $50. And I don't want to talk about GPUs because they're very expensive. If it was me, and if it's just in a dedicated place and it's not going anywhere, it doesn't need to move, I would go to desktop, because ultimately that would be cheaper than a laptop. But a laptop can work. Just know that it's not going to be able to maintain for a long time. Meaning, that laptop 5 years from now may work and be able to maintain this, but you never know. We might be going to 4K streaming and all this other stuff, because I am streaming at I'm streaming at 4K. This video should be showing up at 4K. But again, you never know. Can your system grow and change with the times? That's the main thing I would say. Let me see. Yeah, so I'm streaming at 4K right now. But, can your system handle that? That's the question. And if you need to grow, would it be cheaper to add parts to a desktop or buy a brand new laptop? That's my mindset. So hopefully that helps. Get out of here, representative. We don't need that. Is that here? Can you recommend a good ambient mic for adding crowd singing to the live stream? And do you have a video on how to add it to a Midas M32? No, on both of those accounts. I had this mic that was given to me that I need to do a review on. I haven't had a chance to hang it in the church to actually test it out. It's a mic that's supposed to be able to pick up ambient noise from everybody else. But honestly, if you really need to get something, you can get something as simple as this. A couple of Rode shotgun mics and just put them in the front and have them aimed towards, or you can use some of the Shure mics, anyone, and just balance them out and just put them on a channel to where you can, turn them on and off when needed, kind of like choir mics, hanging mics. I did that it was a church in Baltimore. I just recently added a X32, and they had choir mics. It would act the exact same way. You just turn them on. I like this because then you can have this one in the booth, and you can just reach up and turn this on and off if you want to. Not just this one, but any type of shotgun mic can possibly work. And as for adding it to the Midas M32, the concept is the same as how I've done stuff with the X32s. It's same thing. You just got to plug it into one of the jacks, assign the jack, route it to that fader, and then you adjust it. But I don't know. That's one of the goals, I think. I don't want to add a whole lot of stuff in here, but I'm thinking about maybe getting a X32, personally have one so that I can do some more stuff like that, because I can't go through all the soundboards and stuff like that, but the concept is still the same. So we'll see what we can do. What page am I on? Okay, that's page 2. Let's go to page 1. Norm here. We use 2 Audio-Technica AT857s for congregation mic at front of room. Excellent. So, because, that's something else I need to do with mine as well, too, at my church, because everybody seems to forget that people online need to hear what they're doing. So we have a lot of people that'll start talking and then they just don't say nothing. And I'm like, bruh, like, we can't hear you. Trying to find those models there. The Audio-Technica. Okay. All right, I think... Let me know, Norm, if these are the ones that you're talking about here. Are these the ones that you're talking about? Let me know. Make sure I get the one, because I don't want to put that one in the comment and it be the wrong one. And that's not the one that you were talking about. Let's see. Don here, in agreement. Stream decks are great to use with streaming and other tasks. Absolutely. I would agree. I have one set up at my church for the live streaming because most of my folks in the media, they don't know the in-depth of the OBS. So I just have it programmed to the stream deck. They just have to press go live, pre-show, live, offering, be right back, technical difficulties, ending. That's the only thing that they have to touch. And that was when we did use vMix for that one Sunday as well as OBS. So makes it really easy. So it makes it less intimidating for people. Robert, hey, at our church during a live service, what do you guys usually display on the in-house monitors compared to what's shown online? At my church, we show the exact same thing. I am in the process of getting ready to change that. But for me, whatever shows on the live stream is exactly the same thing that shows on our projector screens. Like on our back screen, I made that into a stage display just for the pulpit because they asked for that. But then when I did that, it threw them off because they couldn't watch the video. So I don't know. I know other ministries like at Spring Creek, they show nothing but like a logo because it's fed directly from ProPresenter. And it doesn't show anything the same in the house. So, on the live stream. So, it all depends. I've seen a mixture of both. Norm chiming in. Desktops are cheaper for the same capability and can be upgraded. Laptops cannot. Exactly. Thank you for shortening that long, drawn-out statement that I said. But I completely agree. Sandra would like to know, are you able to switch between the cameras using the Stream Deck? Yes, if you use Bit Companion, that's an app that utilizes the Stream Deck, and it can talk directly to the ATEM if you're using one of those. There is a way. There's somebody on our Facebook group, and somebody else talked about it, where they had it to where they were able to do this. So like if you're not using the ATEM at all and you have multiple camera inputs in OBS or vMix, you can program it that exact same way too. So yes. Otis, what is going on, sir? Kurt here. And I was getting ready to say something, but I don't know if y'all have an Android or not, so I'm not going to do that. I will manually turn on my fan here. Kurt wants to know, what's the best way to get a video signal from the camera up front to the media booth in the rear? Most cameras are HDMI, and HDMI seems to be limited. Well, Kurt, I would recommend, and this is what I'm using now for that type of situation, fiber HDMI cable, and this is 100 feet, and it goes up to 300 feet. That's how this camera is connected, and I got a spool of cable right behind it of 100 feet, and it works great. I've done that in the last couple of installs. The one that I'm doing in Florida is solely using these. The ones in Chicago, even though I like SDI cables, been really, really, really great. The issue is now, even though they were cheap, now with the fiber cables, and they're showing themselves to be way more reliable, getting the SDI and then having to convert it on both sides, it's going to make each cable at least $100 minimum. But this cable for that same distance for 100 feet is around like $70. So this is about a little bit cheaper than just the adapters. So I would recommend those, and I have used them quite a bit. So I will give them my ringing endorsement. Ooh, excuse me. Streets of Destiny here. How do you keep OBS dock windows from moving and changing when adding a dock? Most of mine stay in place. I haven't really had them move every time when I open them up. Like even right now, I'm opening it up, and the Bible that I have to the right side is still coming back just like it normally would. So you're gonna see a loop of a loop here for a second. Well, no, let me turn this off. So like in here, you see, when I open this up, the Bible plugin showed up right here. So I really didn't have an issue with those changing like that. So I don't know what to tell you about that one. Oh, and I was blocking it. My bad. And I closed it that fast. So like here, when I just open it back up, it's going right back to the same thing. So I'm not 100% sure on that one. I don't know if I'm understanding your question. Where do you recommend setting up? Oh, I'm wondering if you're saying meaning merch. Let me know. Back to a journey of random musing. How are you plugged into your computer with multiple screens? Is it a graphics card or through USB? Right now, it's my graphics card. I have a NVIDIA RTX 2070 that has 5 video display outs. So all of them are connected directly to my computer. But I could use a USB to HDMI adapter if needed. But yeah, all of these are connected directly to my computer. Jackie, thank you for joining from work. Back to the office 5 days a week. Man, yeah, I know that's not fun. I pray y'all's strength. Back to Paul. See, I think this air is doing something right here. So So for the present desktop, we're using Windows 8, 4 gigs RAM. That's your problem right there. See, I don't like how, and I know I'm interrupting the question that you're saying. I don't like how computer companies do this. If you look at the description, Windows 8 and not even Windows 7, it says to the minimum requirements to run Windows 7 and 8 is 4 gigs of RAM. That's just to run the software, Windows itself, the operating system. That does not include running any other programs. So 4 gigs is beyond too low. Honestly, you need to 4x that. You need to at least have 16 gigs of memory. That would give you more performance. But let's go to the next. But it has a video card with 3 outputs, VGA, HDMI, and DVI. But the VGA out is not working if we change the video card. Well, first off, it depends on the type of GPU that you have, because I've had that issue before. Because the way it is, HDMI and DVI are digital signals. VGA is not. It's analog. So the way it is, like some cards, if you use HDMI and DVI, the signal will work. But then sometimes when you add VGA, the DVI will work, but not the HDMI. It all depends if the card can actually support outputting all 3 signals at the same time. And it's just how it's handled differently. I've had that issue a couple of times. But let me go to your next comment. It should work for Worship Extreme, right? If you get all 3, yes, they will all work as long as the card is not limited. Make sure the card says it supports 3 simultaneous outputs. If they do, once you hook up a monitor to each one, they will show up in Worship Extreme. Rhonda here. Good morning. Thanks for all you do. I am now learning DaVinci Resolve. Have done some basic editing with it the last couple of weeks. Awesome. Yeah, DaVinci Resolve is great. It does have a steep learning curve, but once you learn how to use it, I mean, you have full access to do everything you need to. I mean, I used to use Sony Vegas all the time and pay for it. Even though I have the Adobe Cloud for Photoshop and After Effects, I get Premiere. I don't use it because just DaVinci Resolve does everything that I need. So awesome. Otis was saying we need an in-depth tour of your setup. I did one. I thought I did. I mean, I have changed some stuff, but maybe I'll do that next year because I'm sitting back here thinking, like, I'm not trying to just burn cash for the sake of burning cash. I'm really sitting back thinking, what's the next evolution of what I do here? Honestly, what I really want to do is actually set up a studio, as in, like, if I wasn't in this apartment, say I have an office like in my house or something like that, what I would do is I would have this set up and I would have different sets. So I would have my computer set like this, have another camera to where and light so I can sit, and have my computers in the background, have a table with my overhead camera that I don't get a chance to use as much because, like I said, I haven't done a whole lot of unboxings in a while, but have this camera moved over to a different table that's dedicated for unboxing stuff. But then also have like a couch and everything set up so that if I have hosts, I have guests and stuff like that. So that's where I'm thinking of right now. But my tour, I'm actually trying to clean my stuff up so that I don't have that much of a mess here. And I'm actually stalling because I'm trying to see if Josh is going to join because he sent me some memes. But honestly, some of his memes I thought we used already, but I'll play them again. Stan has a question. Thoughts on the new Intel chips? I would say it's about time. They're actually doing some performance stuff. But again, you have to get a brand new motherboard and everything, which I'm not a fan of. Ray L here has trying to make sure I don't miss this. I guess he's giving a recommendation of a desktop computer, AMD Ryzen 7, great processor. It's, 8 cores, 16 threads. 16 gigs in memory, 256 gigabyte solid state drive. That's really low. You probably want to double that. You can get a 512 gigabyte hard drive for $40. And then even a 1 terabyte SSD you can get for around $90. But honestly, that is a good deal for $569, especially with that processor. I'm wondering what GPU is included with it, but that's a good deal. The first thing I would do is add it double, triple, quadruple that hard drive size. Back to Paul. Is HDMI out or SDI out for PTZ cameras better? Honestly, I mean, if you want to get into the detail, they'll say SDI is better, but I mean, the average person is not going to notice it. You're not. Because I think, like at my church, I went from SDI to HDMI. Man, you wouldn't even know. I mean, because really didn't even notice the cameras that were up there. Oh, somebody was asking for the link for the HDMI cable. Give me a half a second, and I will post that in the link. And again, I've bought a ton of these things, and they work very, very, very well. Where's it at? There it goes. And I've used all the way up to 200 feet. I have not used the 300-foot one yet, because we're supposed to be doing something here. Fiber HDMI cable. Please be mindful that these are one direction. So, like, for example, if I cut over here so y'all can see it, you can see right here that, you can see I bought it a couple of times. One of them has a display, one of them has source. This will plug into your camera or whatever is the main source. And if you're using this for the ATEM, the display plugs into the ATEM. I had a client that bought this, and they hooked them up backwards. Be mindful. Don't do that. That could cause some issues. These are one direction, all right? But great stuff. I had one of y'all notified me about that because I was skeptical of them. And then I finally bought one, and I'm like, you know what? You're right. So I didn't even bring up your comment, but Jay Santiago, that's what it was. So it is in the, I just posted it there. So hopefully that helps. Rhonda was saying, based on that OBS question, my OBS tends to resize. They don't move, though. Hey, you know what? While you're doing that, let me give y'all some ideas of some stuff I'm going to do. Give me half a second. All right, so I showed this to a couple of people, and maybe I should put this. I'm gonna put this in. I'm gonna put this in vMix so that way I don't have to juggle all this sound and stuff like that. If y'all looked at some of my older videos, there was something that I did at my church that a lot of people were skeptical of, but then when we did it, everybody had a blast. And that is trial by fire Bible trivia. So I don't have permission. What? Okay. That's my first Windows 11 issue. I tried to copy a file over. It said I didn't have permission. Give me a half a second, and I'm going to link this video. And we are working on bringing this one back. Everybody really was skeptical about it at first until we did it, and everybody had a blast with it. So that's Tech Deal. So let me tell me what you think. This is my short trailer for Bible trivia. So what y'all think? It's meant to be engaging and exciting. So if y'all haven't watched it, this is based off of the show on YouTube, Hot Ones, where we get some of these hot sauces here And we ask Bible trivia questions. And if you don't get them right, if you want to stay in the game, you have to eat a wing. And they progressively get hotter. So we have nurses and everything standing by. It's not detrimental, but the reaction to the people in the audience watching is, it is so perfect. I'm telling you, it is hilarious. And I've had so many people, again, if people from my church are watching, they know this is true. Everybody was skeptical at first, but when we did it, everybody had a blast. And I'm working with my sister and brother-in-law's church, Gates of Faith Ministries, to do something like that for their game night. I'm going to be a host, and there'll be a game show, and we bring some people on, working with doing this with Spring Creek Baptist Church, also working at doing this back at my church. And when it's done, we're going to have a collab, and we're going to have a competition between the three churches, the three ministries, to see what we can do. So, and of course, we're going to live stream that, and it's going to be hilarious. Now, what did I do with my chat here? All right. Carriers of the Covenant here. Excuse me. Using a PTZ with PTZ Optics software with presets using OBS and laptop, can it be controlled? Put into action with the Stream Deck. Well, the PTZ Optics software, they have a plug-in directly in OBS to move the camera. But honestly, if you're trying to do it in that way, I would say use your Stream Deck with BitCompanion. BitCompanion can talk directly to the PTZ camera and OBS and do a lot more functionality based off of what you're talking about. I think that would be the easiest way. Are there decent onboard graphics cards that support multiple screens? Yeah, I mean, the Radeon, the AMD APUs that I've been using with the Ryzen 5 5600G and the 5700G, the Ryzen 7, they work very well. Most of them have dual onboard outputs. I haven't seen one that does 3 outputs, but they work very well. And I mean, that's really the only alternative I've had right now as the ones that's affordable. I was at Best Buy the other day, and they had a whole bunch of GT730s that would give you 3 outputs, and they go for like $60. That can be an alternative, but that's what I'm thinking. Debbie, thanks for joining. And on to your question, is there a way to get chat from both YouTube and Facebook live into OBS, not to show in the live stream itself, but like in a dock on the side for that? I know YouTube, the latest version of OBS allows you to do chats that way. But I'm not sure of a way to bring it in do both at the same time. That I'm not sure of. Yeah, I don't think that's possible right now. Now, the other thing, like I'm doing, if I was streaming, I was using vMix Social, and vMix Social can bring in both. But natively in OBS, no, I am not aware of a way to do both at the same time. Norm was saying, I'm using Power Director. I used to use that as well now, but I'm going to DaVinci because it is great and free. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, let's see here. Rhonda, your challenge has inspired me to do a bit more with our media ministry. I edited our worship down to 10-minute highlight reel for those that don't have. See, that's what I'm talking about. Excellent work there, Rhonda. I mean, because that's the whole thing. The idea is from a media ministry standpoint. And this is, you know, I'm going to go into my mini prelude of a video that I've been meaning to do. There's so much stuff that our ministries can, let me go back. Y'all know ministries are normally the last one to embrace stuff. We're always the last on this. And I say that to say that there's a lot of stuff from social media, Instagram, influencers, YouTube influencers, whatever, that ministries can really leverage. Like, for example, Joshua asked, how am I doing my merch? Do you realize that your ministry can set up a Spring account, a Teespring account, and make all the shirts and paraphernalia merchandise from your ministry that most likely I would have, and then when everybody buys it, that money comes back to the ministry. That's raising money right there. You know, there's so many ideas that, hey, if y'all want to have, your ministry wants to have a secondary channel and it gets to the point where it's bringing in income, it can start funding some of the projects that y'all are doing. That's what I do. You know, there's so many ideas that we're so stuck. We're so Bible, heavenly minded, that we're no earthly good, that God has inspired a lot of people to come up with good ideas. And just because these people are heathens, every good and perfect gift comes from God. So if he gave somebody else a good idea that is perverting it and doing it a bad way, does not mean that it cannot have a good purpose with it. Live streaming. We're adults here. You know that there are some people that are using live streaming for some different type of entertainment, but we've used it to share the message. We're running away from good ideas that we could use from a ministry standpoint. So let me get off of that. That was one of the videos I want to work on. What can ministries learn from influencers, online influencers, to help the ministry become an influencer? Because that's what we're really meant to be in the first place. But all right, let me get off of that. Let me see where we were at. Norm wants to know, why don't you use NDI for the PTZ cameras? Well, the PTZ cameras I have don't have NDI. And then secondly, they were replacing cameras that we already had a direct line to. So it was no point in doing that. And then secondly, I don't like NDI from a standpoint of I would have to change my infrastructure so that the network can give me a consistent performance. I don't care how good NDI is, even though I use it for the monitor I'm looking at right now. I use it. NDI, as of right now, does not beat a direct connection. That's just me. And plus, most of the time when I'm doing the install, I'm the most technical person. I don't want to have to explain to people, oh, I need to reset the router. You need to do this. You need to set up a VLAN. I want it to be, it's just plug and play, and they don't have to touch it. That's why I don't use it. Gina, good morning. Good morning. Back to Paul. My pastor was planning to buy a desktop for streaming. It's only going to run OBS and Facebook. Can we use a lower spec than we and use Web Presenter? Yes, but realize that the Web Presenter isn't going to give you all the functionality of OBS. Now, you could get a lower spec system and do all the functionality in OBS, but then in OBS, hook up the Web Presenter like a monitor, and in OBS, you would output that out. So like, for example, let me come back over here, open up OBS here. What screen is that? Number 2. All right, so if I'm over here in OBS, what you could do, for those who don't want to use this, if you have multiple monitors in here, you can be displaying anything, and I don't even know, if I had anything to display. You could come in here, hook up another monitor to your computer running OBS, and right-click in here, and then you have a full-screen projector, and this will project whatever is in this screen, full screen to it. You know, so that way I've had churches where this was set up and this is their software switcher. So OBS is driving the images that goes to the TV. You could do the same thing. Send this, if you have the Web Presenter hooked up to it. I mean, you have to have a converter because mine has SDIN only, but you would convert it. You can do output, and then OBS is sending full screen to the Web Presenter. Then the Web Presenter is doing the streaming. You know, that's the way. Maybe I need to do that as a video. But that's a way that you can get around it. Now, the computer needs to be fast enough to run OBS, and you don't want to overload it with a whole bunch of scenes and sources and stuff like that if it can't keep up. But it doesn't need to be so high spec that it needs to live stream if you're going to use the Web Presenter to do that. But to be quite honest, if you're going to do all of that, the web presenter, the cheap one, is at least $495. And if you get another computer, you're looking at least another $500. At that price, you can get the A10 Mini Extreme and just let it do all that stuff itself. So, I mean, that's your call. But me personally, if you're looking at spending that amount of money, I would just go with an A10 Mini Extreme. And then put lower spec computers that you may already have just to run. Because the good thing about Presenter by Worship Extreme, that can run on a Chromebook, and you can get a Chromebook for $200 US. Back to Rhonda. I'll be interested to see how the views and less compare 10 minutes to 2 hours. Yeah, I would think that would be a good point because, again, we're not holding somebody hostage for a 2-hour video, and you'll probably get more engagement, and people will stay longer for that. And should I do it? Hey, let's go ahead and put my church on the chopping block so we can understand this stuff. So I'm going to take this down. I'm going to go over to my church's channel, and so we can understand analytics. Now, we don't have a lot of people that watch on YouTube. So, you know, even though we're taking a deep dive on how this is, I want to give you an understanding of how this stuff works. All right, so let's go over to that screen. All right, I'm here on my church's channel. I'm going to look at this live stream, and let's look at the analytics of this. And wait a minute, hold on. This is a moment here. We got a copyright claim. And see, this is why I'm saying this is crazy. Earth rejoice, our Lord and King. How is that a copyright? Like, I don't understand, how is that a copyright? Let me see. As you can hear, those are people that's being played live and being sang live. How do you copyright that? That's anyway, let's go through it. I'm gonna dispute this. No, that's the song is in public domain. This is a hymn in the public domain, sang and played by live singers and musicians. Boom, boom, boom. See, this is the stuff that is like that's silly. Like, how are you copywriting? I mean, doing a copyright claim on that. That song was like, anyway. And then here's another one for Thanksgiving. Oh, that's the same one. And then there's another one here. It's a copyright claim. What is this on? What? Yeah, that's Sweet Hour of Prayer. That's not even the right song. See, this is, I meant to go do something else, but we're doing this. Let me skip through this real quick, but at least y'all can see it. This is Sweet Hour of Prayer, hymn in public domain, song matched is not the same song being sung. So hopefully y'all go through and look through some of these videos for these foolish claims that people are trying to say that's in your stuff. But anyway, that threw me off because of this. So I'm going to go here to the analytics of our ecumenical service. So let's look at this. So it says right here, we got up to about 18 views on this, and we want to look at the engagement. The average duration, people watched this for 9 minutes and then dropped off. So this is one of those things, and this is the drop off that you want to see that you don't want to see, the retention rate. So within a minute, this dropped off. And again, I think that's because of that was just all the intro. So when service actually started, you want to see how long are people dropping off. That's something you need to be mindful of. So in the video, kind of like what you're talking about, Rhonda, you're probably going to see a significant drop off. The idea is you want to see how long you want to keep your retention up. That's the main thing. So I need to do more of a deep dive into this so we can understand the numbers and how this stuff works, especially for the people who are saying we need to just get back to the building and not realizing hey, you want to get back to the building with 50 people, but there's 150 people watching online and you're having 30% engagement throughout the entire live stream. So if you have 150 people and it's at 30%, what's that? That's take the number, man. Maybe I shouldn't have did my math. So that's one. You're gonna have at least a good amount of people going through there. I should have did easier numbers. So say if you had 100 people and 30% engagement staying on, that's 30 people that are staying on the entire time. And why would you throw that away compared to, okay, you have 50 people who sat here the entire time, but you have 30 people online that stayed here the entire time. I don't know. So I went on a rant on that. And I was also stalling to see if we had some more questions in here. Lamorris. We just upgraded from the ATEM Mini Pro to the Extreme. This should allow us to have the ATEM on to both our live streaming and presenter system, right? Pastor wanted to show cameras in-house. Yes, that is correct. That is correct. Back to Ray L. Yeah, the Ryzen 7 5700G, 8 cores, 12 threads, and it also has a Radeon processor in there as well. So y'all, I'm seeing y'all's comments now based on the Bible trivia. Thank you. Thank you. My pastor was like, why I have to have fire? Because I was like, because we trying to burn. We trying Well, it's meant to be intense. It's meant to catch everybody off guard. Stan, no, I have not. That's the plan here in a little bit. Thank you. The idea is to catch everybody off guard. Because again, if y'all I like watching other YouTubers as well as other ministries so I can get different ideas on how I'm going to do stuff, how to do interactions and things like that, because it's beyond just putting the camera in the back of the sanctuary. That's why I said we can't be so stuck in only looking at other ministries. We can look at other content because every good and perfect gift comes from God. And he's given creativity to some other people that I can engage our creativity to try new things. So, again, I was watching Hot Ones about interviewing different people, and when they start getting hotter, they start cussing, they start losing their composure, and I think that's the funny part. We all Christians here, and it's like when you get something that's burning you up, do you break character? Well, see, Norman, this is how it went. The idea, we had 3 teams of different people, different age range, different generations. So that we had the people who were the Bible scholars all the way to the novice, and we had 3 different teams. So we would throw a question out there, and actually, can I throw y'all in for this Bible trivia? Let me see how well y'all would do. I'm gonna bring this up here and just see how good y'all's is in this. Oh man, I didn't think I had all the sound and stuff like on here. All right, so I'm going to bring up a couple of questions here, and I want to see how well y'all would do. How y'all like that? So I can give y'all a taste of how this was. Y'all don't even have to eat no hot sauce. Have no hot wings with it, all right? All right, and let me put myself here in the lower corner. And see, this was another idea. I wanted to do this online as well too. So let's go to round number 1. Again, this is, I want y'all to engage with me now. All right. So this is the same thing that I did at my church. And so we're going to change the questions up. So please put your answers down in the comments. All right. For each question. Question number 1, who had the coat of many colors? Who had the coat of many colors? Got 5 more seconds to put your answer in the comments. All righty. Let's go to question number 2. What young man killed both a lion and a bear? What young man in the Bible killed both a lion and a bear? All right. Question. Only got 4 questions, so we'll go through all of those. Question number 3. Who was the judge who defeated the Midianites with only 300 men using torches and horns? All right. Who was the judge who defeated the Midianites with only 300 men using torches and horns? All right. Last question. To what city was Saul traveling when he encountered a great and blinding light? Now, just let y'all know, this is round 1, these are very simple questions. All right. Again, last one. To what city was Saul traveling when he encountered a great blinding light? All right. Let's go to number 1. Let's see what everybody got. Number 1, who had the coat of many colors? And obviously, I'm seeing all of y'all's comments in here. And the answer, obviously, is Joseph. Yay, yay. So, in the game, well, let's go through all the questions and I'll tell you how it works. So, mark your score. Be honest which ones you got right. So, that's 1. Question number 2. What young man killed both a lion and a bear? All right. The answer to that one is David, based off of 1 Samuel 17:34-36. All right. Number 3. Who was the judge who defeated the Midianites with only 300 men using torches and horns? I saw a lot of people with this one. Gideon. All right. Last one. To what city was Saul traveling when he encountered a great and blinding light? And the answer to that one is Damascus. All right. So the way this would have worked is we would have, just like I just did, we did the questions for the teams. They had to write down their answers and we had an audience. Once we finished, we posed the questions again, asked the audience, and this was a Bible study with a twist. We asked the audience what the answers were. They answered, and now they're like, all right, teams, did y'all get the right answer? Ooh, you didn't. Oh, yeah, they did. And then we had a scorekeeper. We went through all the questions. So each question was worth 25 points, 100 points around. If you missed any questions, if your entire team ate one hot wing of this increasing temperature for each round, you would compensate and make the same amount of points catch up. So get the questions right, you get 100 points. Get all the questions wrong, but eat the wings, and boom, you got the same amount of points. So the idea is at the end of the game, as long as you ate the wings or answered the questions, there was no loser. So it was hilarious because I slipped them a Mickey. We started with just regular, like some Texas Pete. Then we went to some Red Hots. Then we started amping it up. So that to round 3, I mean, it jumped and it was hilarious. But let me know, how many of y'all got them all right? Somebody said Judge Joe Brown. But see, again, that's how we're taking what we're doing and putting a twist to it to make it more engaging. Again, that can be just like I just did. Just imagine your ministry hosting something like that to your online community. How interesting would that? Because I did the same thing on our Facebook channel. I did the same thing. I just brought up, I asked questions. I was engaging with the people in the chat. That's something that y'all could possibly do. It's all about giving some different ideas and everything like that. And to let y'all know, the fact that you get everybody to ask questions and put comments in their questions and their answers in the comments, that's considered more engagement as well, too, if you didn't know. All right. So I just did that one. Let me see. Enoch, what's going on? Haven't seen you in a while. Hey, AJ, how are you? Did you see the discussions on OBS and Streamlabs last week? Yeah, I try not to get in stuff like that. Streamlabs has been doing some shisty stuff, so I kind of stay away from that. Shane and Hannah, a good PTZ. Well, it all depends. There are a bunch of them. I need to know what the distance is from your subject to where it's going to be placed, and I can give you some ideas on that. Paul, can ProPresenter bring in PowerPoint slides like Worship Extreme? And is ProPresenter yearly plan subscription? Honestly, ProPresenter, to my knowledge, is still a one-time fee, but to have yearly updates, you have to pay $60 a year after that first year. We have not renewed that, so we still have 7.3, and it's working fine for us. And to your first question, yes, it can, but it will require to have PowerPoint on the system so they can do it, but yes. Carriers of the Covenant will say, would you give a good explanation, good and bad, of NDI? NDI is good because you don't have to worry about wires going back and forth. It sends video and audio over there. The bad, and this is the simple way, the reason why I don't use it as much, is because you need to have a system that's first off fast enough to decompress the signal that's coming to it. So like say you have five cameras coming into one system. That system needs to be able to fast enough to decode 5 streams of video and audio, keep them in sync. But then it also needs to be fast enough saying that you're pulling audio from your mixer that it can keep all of that in sync with the audio. And that's the other issue, that most of the time the NDI is not in time. Like right now, I'm looking at my screen right now. My screen in front of me. Let me go to this. So right now let me make this full screen here. So right here is my NDI feed. This screen right here is a direct feed from the computer. So because I can control my stuff, even though I control my network, this NDI feed is about 2 frames behind a direct connection. So you got to think, if I'm in complete control of my network and I'm getting at least 2 frames behind, what's that going to be if somebody's just trying to hook this up on a network that they don't have set up and they're just using a regular router and Wi-Fi? It's going to start lagging behind and behind and behind. And that's the reason why I don't use it. Can it be compensated so that's not an issue? Of course it can. But you really need to make sure that your computer can handle it, your network is stable, you have a separate network that no one can get on it and disrupt it. And I mean, it's a lot of stuff. Is it doable? Yes. But you need to make sure that whoever is setting it up knows what they're doing, how to troubleshoot it. And then if they're not there, what happens if somebody that doesn't know anything about it and they have an issue? That's me. I like NDI. I still use it in some places where if I don't care about it synchronizing with somebody talking. So like if I had, like for example, when I do it sometimes when I was using my phone and I didn't have a top-down camera, I used NDI for the top-down shot because you weren't seeing my mouth. And I could be behind in this and not in sync, but you wouldn't know, because when you add a person's face in the audio and it's not in sync, y'all have seen that plenty of times. Even some of y'all's old live streams to where the video and audio is out of sync. It was disturbing. That's the reason I don't do it. I use it if I don't have a person's face or if I just need a shot, like a wide shot that is no way for you to sync the audio with somebody talking. I use it for that. So that's my quick synopsis. Also, yes, Bit Companion. That is correct. Okay, DJ was saying, got an MSI Coffee Lake H310i motherboard with an i5 6-core. Okay, not understanding that. Sorry. Brian, what is going on? I need to turn this fan off. Ooh. Otis chiming in there. Multiple NDI cameras on the network cause a lot of latency, especially if there's other. Thank you. Exactly. That's the reason why. I mean, it's doable if you really got your stuff straight. Ishmael, hello. I know I'm catching up here. Hey, yeah, the past Friday Q&A, my question regarding about the video when streaming and recording at the same time and tried to lower the bit rate. Yeah, I don't know. What were you using as your encoder again for your system? Need to know that. It is not really hard at all. I actually had a video where I did a complete live stream of me building a system from beginning to end. And I know Anthony has done that, and he's gotten so confident enough with it. I mean, it's straightforward, really straightforward. The only way you can do it wrong is if you're forcing it. Memory, CPU, all that stuff that plugs into the system, it's like Legos. You can only put it in a certain way. Just be patient with it. And honestly, I would recommend you looking at that video. I will tag that in the channel here, and we'll see how that is. I mean, honestly, I had a bunch of people watch it, and then they can stop. And I think I put I thought I put links in there. I mean, timestamps so that you could see where I was doing with each part. Yeah, it is. Yeah, here it is. It is the complete live streaming PC build. And it's a video here that I will put here. And it was completely done live from beginning to end. Software, everything, right? So hopefully that helps you. But honestly, very simple, very simple. I mean, the first time it's kind of nerve-wracking, but after that, you're really straightforward. Now, I gave enough time to go past. How many questions? Seeing y'all's answers here. What y'all think? Otis wants to know, do you go, Peter? We do Bible trivia during Vacation Bible School. It's fun and hilarious. Very much so. All right, so we got a bunch of people that had all of the questions correct. And see, you wouldn't have had to eat any hot wings at all. But, man, do you understand the fire some people would have in their mouths if they had that? Paul, do you have any idea on the countdown to show the people on stage? For the moment, I'm using a laptop, but it can support to external. Yeah, I mean, I have one, Paul, that's done that on both programs, Worship Extreme as well as Pro Presenter, that can do that number, the countdown. Anthony, hey, AJ, been racking my brain. My ATEM does not see my SMT AV. I followed all your directions. I finally connected the USB-C to USB-A cable, and Pro Presenter sees it. Am I doing something wrong? You said the ATEM does not see the SMT AV. I would say, even though it, now wait a minute, are you using the ATEM television studio, or are you using the ATEM, the mini line? One of those, let me know. Back to Shane and Hannah, they were saying around like 500 euros and about 15 to 20 meters. I would think a 20X would do. And I need to find something on my UK Amazon for that one. So I can get you a good reference for that. What do you mean he doesn't have a... Oh, I didn't have the co.uk. All right. So you said 50 euros. I mean, 500 euros, excuse me. Let me see. There's this one brand, but now how far away are you going to be from the computer and the PTZ? What about that one? And I might have to circle back with you, Shane. Please send me an email. That way I can follow back up and I can do some research to try and find something for you. And again, that is questions@ajayhomes.com, which I completely forgot about, folks. Even though I'm going to be shutting down for a year, just realize if you want to set up a consultation with me, you can go down below to ajayhomes.com/consultations. You can do a phone, or we can do a Zoom for 1 hour and try and get you straight. You can go there to set up something like that. And also, folks, again, shameless YouTube, typical plug. If you haven't, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. And I don't know why they say smash the like button. I mean, just click it. I don't know. And then hit the bell. That way you get notified when we come out with other videos. I really appreciate it. We're trying to put in a whole lot more content for you folks. Like, we've been going for an hour and a half, and we're still rolling. Because like I said, I'm not doing a Q&A. Well, no, we are doing a Q&A next week. I'm leaving Saturday. So, hey, I'm here, folks. So we're going to try and go as long as all of this can hold up. And I'm not hungry. So, back to Norm. Do you think that using PT Optics cameras is better than generic, or it doesn't matter? Honestly, the PTZ Optics cameras, I mean, from a quality standpoint, for the most part, they're using the same chips. The difference with PTZ Optics is you have dedicated people who are constantly enhancing and writing software and more readily available if you have any troubleshooting. At my church, we have one SMT AV that's in the front and the PTZ Optics in the back. And it's not noticeable. The PTZ Optics is the one that we use more because we don't really have anything to really use the front camera for right now, since of how we're doing stuff right now. But I mean, it's up to you. I personally love the PTZ Optics stuff, but then I know some other people that are like, hey, that's outside of their price range. So it all depends. But honestly, if you can go with them, Ada Imaging is another great camera. Love them as well, too. I like the way they look. They stand out as well, too. Great quality as well. Okay, and I already answered that question, but I'll answer it again. Do you know how to hook up a projector to OBS, and is there a way to do it by HDMI? Yeah, just if your computer has another HDMI output, run an HDMI cable from that computer directly to your projector. That's it. That's all you need. A journey. What would be the best way to use a roving camera that's not PTZ? My pastor is against them for some reason. He thinks the picture is flat. I mean, well, it's about the creativity with it. A roving camera. I don't know. I'll tell y'all one little project that I'm working on because somebody else, my friend Kyle, we're actually looking at building a remote control camera. So it's going to hang from the ceiling, and it's going to be like a RC car that can go back and forth, but then it's going to have an arm under it that can rotate and turn, move in and out. So it's going to be right over the bands because of where the band is. So it's going to be able to lock on the band and go from left to right where all the band is, but it can zoom in, but then it can completely turn 360 and look at the congregation. That's something that I'm going to be building from scratch, and I'm really excited about doing something like that. But I think the picture being flat, it all depends in how you use it. I've seen other people that use gimbals. I've had other people that don't use the gimbal because it makes it seem like the camera is somebody in the congregation. I mean, it's all about creativity with it. So it's not that every image is flat. It's how you decide to use it, you know? Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, Mousy. I didn't realize I still had the chat window up. My bad. All right. So Jackie said she got 3 right. Ishmael wants to know, AJ, please, I want to use an HDMI extender from a camera to an ATEM with cassette. Is it possible? Yes, that's possible. Back to Paul. Regarding my questions, desktop and web presenter. So we go for a desktop that can do streaming together much better. No, the web presenter is going to be handling your streaming. So the computer doesn't need to be capable of streaming because that's going to be offloaded to the web presenter. Hey, thank y'all so much. I'm glad I'm being of help. Jot wants to know, what bitrate would you recommend for 1080p stream? Well, it depends where you're streaming to. I wouldn't go anything lower than 2500, but I think like YouTube limits it at like 45 or something. I used to stream at 10,000, but that's when I had Verizon Fios. I don't have that now. Like right now, I'm streaming at, what am I streaming at? What bitrate? Well, right now, I'm streaming in 4K, so mine, I'm actually at 19,000. That's what's going up right now. But that's the web presenter handling that. When I'm streaming from my computer, like at my church, it's and we're doing 1080p 60. That is at 35, I believe. I mean, we can take a gander together and we can see what it is. Let me remote in to my church's system and we can take an eyeball of it. And I have moved this system to Windows 11. I haven't moved my presentation system to it yet because for whatever reason it thinks my processor is not fast enough, which I think is a lie. All right, so inside of here, yeah, our output is at 3,000. I thought it was at 3,500. But yeah, that's how we have ours. And that's all software because the GPU inside of here does not have any type of streaming capacity at all. So, and we're, I wouldn't go any lower than 2,500, but, we're using 3,000 and it works perfectly fine and no one knows the difference. I might want to see if I can crank that up higher to see if our internet supported, but I think that's the limit of our connection. I think our upload speed at church is around like 25 megabits per second. So that's why I kept it at that. Let's see. Christoph. Hey, you are right on time. The time you needed to be here. Hey, you are well. We're going a little bit longer than we normally do, so we're good. Back to Paul. He said,
but I found these results on search.
Shut up, Google. I wasn't talking to you. I never even said the keyword. I don't know why it kicked off. I have an option of use Stream Encoder, Quick Sync. Well, the X264 is using the computer, the CPU itself. Quick Sync tells me that you have an Intel processor that has something in it for encoding. You can try that. But if you try that and it doesn't work, that means that just the Quick Sync on that CPU that's built in is not fast enough. And we just got to play around with it. The cost for a Zoom call is $75. For a conference call is $75, and Zoom consultation is $100. Little man wants to know, can you please explain how to run your church instruments to the soundboard to the PC? We don't want the sound to come out of the house speakers. I have a Craft EFX 12 soundboard. Can you please explain how to run your church instruments to the soundboard? Well, for us, our drums are mic'd. So there's a mic under each drum, and that's fed into a snake, and then that snake goes into certain channels on our board. I'm assuming by the Soundcraft 12, you have 12 channels. I've seen other people that just had one mic. It's not ideal, but it's one mic that's near the drums that picks them up. The keyboard is plugged directly in. The organ has one mic in front of the Leslie, and all of that is going into separate channels in the board. Now, let me look up that actual board that you're talking about so we can see. So that is the Soundcraft EFX 12. All right, so let's get some pictures here. I need a picture of the back. Let me see. I don't see any pictures of the back. Oh, wait a minute, this top picture. Maybe this will work. All right, so let's take the comments down and let's switch over to this. All right, so it doesn't show a back picture, but I think this will work. All right, so, I mean, you would want to have the instruments plugged in here, and then you have that looks like it's a tape out. Or that might be an in. I need a better quality picture so I can see what that is. I want to see what that corner input is right there. I think that is, yeah, that's a tape out. All you would have to do for your computer is get a RCA to 3.5 millimeter cable and plug into this record out jacks right there, and then plug that out and then go into the line in on your computer, and that's it. That's how you would get sound from the board. But then you just have to connect all your instruments in some way, shape, or form to the board so that they're coming into the system. That would be the best way to do that. And that's kind of how we have ours as well too. Back to Robert. Have you used any HDMI coupler with a fiber optic? Does it impact the signal? Well, I would say no, as long as you're not adding a long one. Because again, when I did the setup with the plates that are behind my ATEM on the floor, those are couplers. So I'm going from a fiber cable from this camera up to a coupler on the back of this, and then it's just a 1 foot cable. I don't know how long of a cable you can add to that before it deteriorates the signal. I'm just wondering what the coupler is going to be used for. Because, I mean, you can get the cable long enough to handle whatever distance that you need, so a coupler isn't needed. That's what I would probably go for that instead. But if you're talking about the little coupler, I'm assuming from your next comment here, we have a Canon G50. I want to extend the signal to our media booth. The camera has a mini HDMI input. That's what I just did at Spring Creek. The only adapter I have is the adapter to go from the HDMI mini to the fiber HDMI cable, and it's fine. That hasn't caused any issues, because I mean that's adding maybe around 4 to 3 inches to your cable length, so you should be fine. Let's see. He wants the camera to move through the congregation, but doesn't want a PTZ. I mean, you could try something like that and put that on like a rolling dolly. If you had something like that, and you can use a camcorder that's off of a battery and then a wireless HDMI like the Hollyland, and hook it so there's no cables, or you can put a gimbal or have somebody just holding it, walking through with camera with a handle, anything like that. That could work. All right, Don, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. Reverend Richards, hello. Was just talking with him yesterday. Hey, actually, no, I hadn't received it. I got some stuff. No, I don't. If you sent it to my BO box, no, I have not gotten it. D Green. What's the best way to bring in lyrics when streaming directly from the ATEM Mini Pro? Bring in your presentation software into the A10 Mini and use the DSK to layer the scriptures from the input from your presentation software to live video. That would be the best way. I have a bunch of videos on that. That's how we do it at our church with our ATEM as well as the ATEM Mini. Set that up. There's a video. I have a complete church setup for the ATEM, and it talks about how to map that. That would be the easiest way. Let's see. Do you stream to Facebook using 1080p signal? I thought they only allowed 720. Actually, we stream to vMix. vMix, we send in at 1080p, and then it re-streams to Facebook and YouTube. Facebook actually does take 1080p. So, like, for example, they slowly been changing it for maybe like the last 4 years. So if I go up to my church's page, let me verify here. Yeah, so this is a stream from last week. And if I go to this, in the stream quality, it's at 1080p. So they're changing it. It should actually accept it now. I mean, we always streamed to 1080p, and live it would be 1080p, but the replay would be back at 720. But it looks like they've changed it because, I mean, that's how ours is showing right now, and that was what we streamed last Sunday. Let's see. Paul, how? Can Web Presenter stream and record at the same time? No, the Web Presenter does not have any type of record function at all. It is streaming only. Mousy, how do you know how to add a line in on a ThinkPad? Tried plugging the RCA cable in, but the line in is not on that. Honestly, you would need to use a audio interface if that's the case, like the Scarlett 2i2 or something like that. Actually, Rode has a new one, and it's a really tiny one. Rode audio interface. I wanted to test it out, but I mean, I don't have any reason to use it. But yeah, this is Rode's. It's the AI1. Pretty tiny. How it is. I wish they would give me some better pic. Oh, there goes photos. Something like, oh, actually, no, I'm sorry. This is not the one I was looking at. They had a different audio interface. It was a smaller one. Yeah, the micro. Here it is. Yeah, that's it. That thing is tiny. And then you can do a plug-in with that. You could try something like that. So it's just USB-C cable, and it plugs in. It gives you a 3.5 connection and a headphone jack and everything like that. I think that would be pretty cool. I mean, it's made for phones, but I'm sure it should be able to work with a computer as well, too. Because if they have drivers, can I connect? Okay, I want to see, is this compatible? Yeah, it's compatible with Windows and Mac. So, yeah, you could use that, and that would work as well, too. I don't know how much it costs. Let me see. Let's go to BH Photo. So that's going for $79. That's cheaper than all the rest of the other audio interfaces. So that way you don't have to convert it down if you already have a 3.5. So I think that would be a great option as well, too. Back to John. Yeah. When using an aux out to your stream, what is the best way of getting great audio quality, i.e. EQ, mix, balance, effects? Honestly, I have not delved into that yet. That's something why, like at my church, we have a Roland M400. We don't have that setting or any way to do that right now. But that would be something that I know I wanted to do with the X32 to play around with that. So unfortunately, I really can't answer that because I don't know, because I don't do that myself. Paul, is the HDMI video capture, HDMI to USB, or SDI video capture better? Really, there isn't any better. I mean, because honestly, they both work. The only way anybody's really going to notice that is if they're into doing this stuff and they're trying to analyze the signal. The average person is not going to notice the difference. So I wouldn't say anything is better. Alrighty, cool. All right, folks. So I'm wondering, are y'all ready to try a round 2 on the Bible trivia? Hopefully, this is giving you some ideas on what y'all could do. So let's go ahead and kick off a second round of questions. How about that one? This one is, yeah, I think this one is easy. All right. So let's go back here to number 4. And that was our last question. That's not what we're trying to do. All right, we're going to go to our next round. I don't know why it says round 1. It should have said round 2. All right, the next question for y'all. Again, please leave your answers down below, folks. See how y'all feeling with this one. Who was the first person to come upon the injured man in the parable of the Good Samaritan? Starting to get a little bit tougher. Who was the first person to come across the injured man in the parable of the Good Samaritan? All right. Question number 2. Who was the king of Judea at the time of Jesus' birth? Who was the king of Judea at the time of Jesus' birth? All right. Question number 3. Who went with Paul on his first missionary journey? Come on, Bible scholars. I need y'all to chime in now. Who went with Paul on his first missionary journey? All right. Last question. What was Jesus's first miracle? All right, so I'm seeing some answers in here. I'm going to do the questions one more time. Question number 1, who was the first person to come upon the injured man in the parable of the Good Samaritan? Now, just to let y'all know, this is being done all in Presenter by Worship Extreme. It can be done in Pro Presenter. All it is a slide with questions and then answers. All right. Number 2, who was the king of Judea the time of Jesus' birth? Question number 3, who went with Paul on his first missionary journey? And number 4, what was Jesus's first miracle? All right. Let's go back to question number 1 with the answer. Who was the first person to come upon the injured man in the parable? Let's see the first person that gave us an answer was Mike. His answer was the priest. So was he right? Yes, he was. Yay. Ding, 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 ding. Mike, you got it. You got it. You got yourself an unlimited use of YouTube as your prize. All right. Question number 2 was, who was the king of Judea at the time of Jesus' birth? Let's see. Mousy here has Herod. Is that correct? Yes, it is. Herod the Great. Yes, that is correct. All right. Question number 3. Who went with Paul on his first missionary journey? Antonio boldly says Barnabas. Is that right? Is that right? Am I pronouncing it right? I think I might have been pronouncing it wrong. But pretty much it is the right answer. All right. And the last question is, what was Jesus's first miracle? And I'm not going to pick Mike because he already answered. Sandra says it was water to wine. I think he actually turned it into Gatorade, but nah, you're right. Turning water to wine. Very good, folks. Very, very, very good. And I'm gonna throw one tough question out there. I'm gonna throw this one because I mess people up with this one. This one is for the true Bible scholars here. Your final question here. This person's birthday party is the first ever mentioned in the Bible. This person's birthday party is the first such mentioned in the Bible. Rhonda says, wings, please. We're going to give you the bomb. That's the that hot sauce that made Idris Elba and everybody break down. So this is a tough one. Don't y'all be cheating going through the Bible to try and find an answer. All right, we're going to give y'all 5 more seconds. This person's birthday party is the first such mentioned in the Bible. Mike said, I need a wing. Anybody got any ideas? See, this is what this is for. It shows that all the people who are in your, I call this the equalizer, because a lot of people feel intimidated. They're like, well, I don't know the Bible. But then you have some people that are like, oh, I know the Bible left and right. And it shows that they really don't. And I think we got one person that got an answer to this. Sandra says, Pharaoh. I wonder if that's correct. And the final answer is correct. It's Pharaoh's birthday celebration in Genesis 40:20. He was the first one mentioned in the Bible with a birthday, of celebrating a birthday or a birthday party, something like that. So, see, gives you a good equalizer to help people understand, like, hey, it's fine if you don't know this and that and all this other stuff like that. Do y'all want another tough one? I got one more here. This is what I call the final question, the top tier question. All right, here's another one. What soldier led a revolt against King Elah, made himself king, and then committed suicide after a 7-day reign? Rhonda's like, I don't know. All right. So again, I like to have scripture with this as well too, because again, this is meant for Bible trivia, aka Bible study, make it more fun. So the scripture reference is 1 Kings 16:8-10, and it's Zimri. So you can delve and get a lot of different questions to try and help people understand different questions and all this other good stuff like that. What's the last one here? Yeah, but I got tons of these, but hopefully that gives you some ideas of what you can try. And again, it's meant to be all fun. I mean, you can have other ones that if you don't want to do spicy stuff, I've seen a mystery food challenge to where you have different foods with different consistency and they have to reach inside of a box blindfolded and grab something. I've seen people have put baby food inside of there, marshmallows, all types of stuff, which I think would be fun. It's not dangerous, but I think it would be really, really, really fun. Let me jump back here to one of our OBS questions here. I do live streaming for soccer matches. How does one do instant replays for goals, fouls, and this? If you're using OBS actually has a replay feature that eats up some memory, but it is doable. So if we come over here to OBS, inside of here, we'll go to settings. And where's it at? Output, video, where's it at? It was, man, I'm forgetting it. I know it is a replay because it uses up a amount of memory so that you could do it. Well, did they remove that? That's a stream delay. Keys. Where's it at? There used to be there it is. Enable replay buffer. You check this off, and then it will set this and do a recording of the replay, and then you can play it back, and you set the amount of time. But be aware that this does eat up a certain amount of memory, because see, it says right here, amount of memory that's going to be used. So the higher that you go, you know, it's going to eat up more space and stuff like that. So you say you want to have 120 second, you know, so that's how you would do it. And then it would be an option to where it's actually going to be recorded to a file that you can have a quick link to, and you can play back a replay from that. vMix does something as well too. So, Sandra was saying wings. See, and exactly, Ron. See, the thing about it is, it didn't feel like y'all were in a lecture now, did it? See, that's where you're making it fun. Deborah was saying, I'm crispy now. See, this is why it makes it so much fun. I mean, the interaction, because you're engaging the people who would just be sitting in Bible study. They're the captivating audience, because now they're sitting back. Because, I mean, the other thing I didn't tell y'all, how I did that when the wings started getting spicier to get the people in the audience involved. I was like, look, your team, you have to eat these wings. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to. You can have a ghost man on second, somebody in the audience, and somebody in the audience like, yeah, I'll eat the wings for you. And they took a bite of them like, oh God, these are hot. But it was hilarious. I'm telling you, it was downright hilarious. And it was really fun. It was really, really fun. Let me see if I can find it real quick on my channel. And I hope y'all like these longer format things. Like when I have the days, that's, you know, we'll do it when we can. So let me jump to this and show you how we did it. So these are our teams. Let me mute the audio because I had to do it. So these are some of the questions. I had it set up into TVs. And there's Lindsay. Boom. Got her. And this was well before COVID, but I mean, it was hilarious. Everybody had a blast doing this. Oh, I'm sorry. No, menu was in the way. That's when we had other questions. We had people live streaming it. And I mean, it was fun. And then we started engaging, having other people in the audience answer and things like that. So it was a blast. It was a blast. Like I said, I mean, hey, you could do other stuff. Like I want to do I want to give all the stuff away, but we're going to, hopefully some of the stuff that I'm doing shows y'all that other things you can try in your ministry and give you other ideas that you can do. Sandra wants to know, where did you get the fire graphics for the game? If you already said it, sorry. No, I didn't say it, but where I got it from is pexels.com. That's where I got it from. Completely free. So if we go here, let's go back over here. And I got to be careful because Pexels be showing some stuff here. So I just went to fire. Background. And I did video. Oh, no, video. I pressed the button too fast. Video. And that's it right there. That's what I used for my background. Really simple. So just in your presentation software, you can put whatever for your background. I just downloaded that as Fire, and I just made slides for the questions. That was it. Really, really simple. Otis. Hey, you are welcome. That's the whole thing. It's about us playing off of each other and learning different things. Paul wants to know, the Pro Presenter subscription, $300 US, can do different screen outputs also. Pro Presenter, when you pay for it, you get everything from the jump. It's not locked behind a pay gate like Presenter by Worship Extreme is. So you get that, you are good to go. All right, folks. I mean, you know, we've been going in for quite a while. We're going on 2 hours. So hopefully y'all really enjoyed this. Hopefully, more importantly, this gave y'all some ideas on what you can do with your media ministry. It's not just about just having a camera in the back. You can have roaming cameras. You can do different type of content. We, like Rhonda was saying, that she condensed the 2 hour service down to 10 minutes, doing highlights. I've seen other people do utilizing YouTube Shorts, just 60 seconds of something. The idea is stay creative, folks. Look at what's seeing popular on YouTube, not just the content, but how they're producing it as well too. You know, you can do a baptism highlight reel. You can have this year in ministry, if you've taken photos. That's what I'm saying. Whether you're starting with your camera phone, a cell phone, regular camera, whatever, start documenting the stuff that y'all got, folks. Because, I mean, you can use that stuff when you start doing B-roll and then having a montage of what's happened over the years, and you can turn that into a different, different type of moment. Like the thing that came to my mind, like we've come this far by faith, because I mean, that's what got us through all the stuff that's happened this entire year. You know, a lot of people have, we've lost some loved ones, we've gained, we've moved forward, we've gone backwards. A lot of things are here, but by the grace of God, we're here, and we should document that, because no one's going to know unless you say so. We need to share our testimony with other people, because just like with David and King Agrippa, he didn't try to beat him over the head with the Bible. He just shared the word of his testimony. And that's what this is. That's what the photos, the video, the content, that's ultimately what it is. So thank y'all so much, folks. I want to give a big, huge shout out to my Patreon supporters. They make all of this possible, and you too can become a Patreon supporter by going to patreon.com/AJaytheCEO for as little as $1 a month, or you can click the big join button down below and become a YouTube member. We give discounts and things like that to our members. We're working on doing some more live streams and stuff like that just for them. And just as a reminder, being completely transparent with y'all, the goal is when we get to our members and Patreon supporters to where we're getting to $1,000 a month, that $1,000 is going to go to me randomly giving to one of the members on Patreon or YouTube, giving them an A10 Mini Extreme. So that stuff isn't going just to line my pockets. It's meant as a offering so that we can bring that together and bless other ministries. So, you help me, I'm able to bless y'all in some other ways, because as much as I would love to give away an A10 Mini to all of y'all, hey, it costs money. So that's where this offering, if you want to call it that, or the support for this ministry, what I do on the channel, that's where it goes to help y'all in other ways. So if no one's ever told y'all, thank you so much for all the hard work and study and dedication that you're doing in your local ministry, because it's not my responsibility to reach everybody on the face of this planet. It is ours. If we all work together, I don't care if you're Baptist Church of God of Christ, Lutheran, Methodist, whatever your belief is, we're all on the same team. And instead of us trying to be focusing on our little kingdom, how about we focus on the kingdom? And that's what it's all about. I hope whatever I do helps you in whatever way, shape, or form it is. Y'all have a great day, evening, afternoon, whatever it is. And we'll be seeing y'all on the next video. Thanks, folks. Later.